Looking good doesn't mean anything if you don't feel good. So we're going to look into some things to make you feel good on the inside just as good as you look on the outside. Hey beautiful, welcome back to Treasure, where we talk about everything fashion, beauty, and self-care. My name is Jazz. I'm your designer friend, and I'm just here to help you feel good on the inside as well as look good on the outside. Today, we will talk about 10 tips to help you work with your mental health as well as your emotional wellness. So let's get right into it. First thing I like to do, I do this not as consistent as I should, but I find it very, very, very soothing and calming for my spirit to journal. So it's always good to write down what you're grateful for, because when you're not really actively paying attention to what you're grateful for and you have hard times, it kind of can feel like so much is happening to you and nothing good is happening. So it's always good to get your journal out and just write down what you're grateful for. Also, I do this every single morning. When I wake up, soon as I open my eyes, the first thing I say is thank you for another day. If you're thanking God, the universe, spirit, source, whoever, I always like to say thank you for another day. Because when you have another day, you have another opportunity to change something, elevate some way, to do something. Okay, so that's the first thing that I think we should start doing. Journaling. Get a journal. If you're not already journaling, do it every day though. Honestly, if it's the same thing every day, it's just a reminder to yourself like things aren't as bad as I think they are. Okay. The second thing, practice mindful breathing. Okay, so when you are able to kind of pay attention to your breaths, that's calming. That can really help with anxiety. Um, it kind of goes hand in hand with meditation, but we haven't gotten there yet. But try breathing. Do your breathing. When things begin to get really overwhelming, start breathing. I know my body does this thing. My heart starts pounding like crazy. And I'm not even doing anything to get me worked up. But then I sit back and I think, okay, this situation I'm in right now reminds me of another situation that did give me anxiety. So I began to breathe. I began to breathe deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And you're just going to do this about 15, 20 times. And that will definitely bring you down. But that helps you with your emotional health and your mental health. It definitely brings you to a place of calm. Because if you don't, sometimes you just speed off into, oh my God, like frantic. And that's how your anxiety attack can completely take over, have you, you know, just out of it completely. And you don't want that. No, you don't. You want to feel just as good on the inside as you about to be on the outside, right? Right. Okay. So number 3, take a digital detox. Like some people don't feel like, oh, the internet is not that serious. Take a take a digital detox. And this week for sure is a good week, a good way to end the week. The rest of this evening, after this video, put your phone down. Put your phone down and just detach. Okay? Grab a good book, watch your favorite show. But social media will have you in a chokehold, and it will really just have you in your emotions for a million different reasons. So it's always good to pick a day of the week, maybe. Do it every week. Pick a day. I'm not going to be on social media at all for the whole day, or I'm not going to be on social media after 6 p.m. So That's something that can definitely help you, you know, stay balanced. Stay attached to reality, okay? Because social media will have you detached as well. Next, set healthy boundaries. If you know that on Friday nights, when you get off work or when you're done with ever, you know that Friday nights is your night to sit down. You're going to drink your glass of wine. You're going to have your cup of coffee. You're going to drink your favorite drink. You're going to have your cup of water. You're going to do your favorite thing that day. You need to make sure that the people in your life understand that mom, sister, cousin, whoever is Friday night is that's her night. She's going to just chill and relax. We're not going to bother her. So you need to make sure that you set those boundaries in place. And if you have children, try to make sure that they understand, oh, Saturday mornings are for mom. You know what I mean? Or Saturday afternoons are for mom. So that they know we're going to give mom her space. Because honestly, if you're not good, you can't be good for anyone else. Like, I live by that. And I've had partners in the past, like, that's foolish. It ain't foolish. Because if I'm messed up, this whole house is messed up. Everybody's in shambles. Once I get my mind right, I can make sure that everybody's okay. So trust when I say create boundaries, let people know this is my day. Nothing's changing that unless you choose to change it. But can't no one come in and, get you to do whatever you don't want to do. Right? Right. Okay. So the next thing is do a little exercising. I'm not really an exerciser. But, well, let me reframe that. I don't do the typical exercises. So I don't go to the gym or anything. But walking, definitely walking is exercise. If you can't get out to do too much walking, do some leg exercises in the chair. Okay? Do something. Walk up and down the steps in your house if you have them. Do something to keep your body moving. Because honestly, when the blood gets flowing and the heart's pumping, you begin to feel good. You will feel amazing just getting up and doing something. Because laying in the bed, curled up for days, that does nothing. That actually makes situations worse and it can make you sicker. Like, so get up, get out, move around, shake it up, dance. Okay? That's another thing. Dance. Put on some music because music is also a good way to raise a vibration, change your emotional state, your mental state. Music definitely is a go-to for me. Get a good playlist and I'm on go. Okay? So definitely a little exercise and that could be dancing. Okay? Put your music on and get to moving. Easy. Not a problem. Okay. Spend time in nature. Now, everybody doesn't have some nature to be in. But when you hear nature, of course, you think of greenery, trees, grass, all of that. But if you don't have that and you just have a fire escape, get out there. Let that sun hit you. Even if it's a winter day, get that coat, stand out there, let the sun hit you. The sun is a source of energy. I'm telling you, do it. It is good for you. It's good for your soul. Stand in the sun. Let the sun fill you. Okay? That's definitely another way to get you going. Get yourself going. Okay? And now let's see. We have here, this is a big one. Practice self-compassion. I know so many people that are like, I could never do that. Oh, I'm not smart enough to do that. No negative talk about yourself. Give yourself grace. It doesn't matter what you've been through, what's going, give yourself grace. You are amazing. Okay? Don't dumb yourself down for any reason at all. Okay? If you see someone else that seems like their life is so amazing and they're doing everything so well, I can promise you they're looking back at you hoping, oh, I wish I can do that. Okay? It can, and everything isn't tangible. Everything doesn't have anything to do with what's in your hand. Some of the stuff is emotional, mental. Okay, so say if you know somebody that can cook and they cook amazing, but you don't cook that well. And you're looking at them like, oh man, I wish I could cook like them. I'll never be able to cook like them. You can, and you will be able to cook like them. Okay, you're gonna get you a cookbook and you're gonna follow the directions step by step. But just in the same instance, you're saying, I'll never be able to do that. Someone's looking back at you like, oh my God, her personality is out of this world. I wish I was just as outgoing as her. So never talk down about yourself because you have something that someone else is dying for. You are amazing in your own way. So don't talk down about yourself. Love yourself. Embrace every flaw, every freckle, every dimple, everything. Embrace it all. Okay? Because there's only one you and no one else can actually be you. Even if it's others that may mimic you, no one can be you. No one. Okay, so on to the next thing. Engage in a hobby. Get yourself a hobby. I know my grandmother loves crosswords. So she's a crossword girl. I like fashion. So honestly, I spend a lot of my time looking up stuff with fashion. I have tons of fashion magazines. I design pocketbooks. So I find myself like engulfed in fashion all the time. That's my thing. Also know how to sew. So that used to be something that I really focused on, sewing a lot. But you can read if you're not a reader, audiobooks. Honestly, because and try to make your hobby something that can relax you, also maybe educate you. Because there's nothing wrong with learning something new. You're never too old to learn something new. If you know how to crochet, crochet. Do it. Color. They got the most amazing adult coloring books. And that's so funny when I think about coloring books because my grandmother loves coloring books. And I was like, okay, well, let me get her some coloring books. And I bought her the adult coloring books. And she looked at me like, girl, I don't want these coloring books. Where is the other coloring books? So, I ended up needing to get her the regular kid coloring books. Like she likes those. And I've talked to some other adults that said the same thing. Like, no, don't give me them adult coloring books. Give me the kid coloring books. So get you a hobby, something that you love to do. And honestly, you can pair your hobby with setting your boundaries. So you know that this day I go play tennis. Everybody knows that. No one can get in the way of it. So you could set a day for your boundaries and also your hobbies. Put them all together. Everything works together, right? Right. Because what we trying to do, we trying to preserve our mental health and our emotional health. Because if we ain't good, we can't help nobody else. That's at home and in the workplace. Right? Right. Okay. Now, the next thing goes with the breathing, like I said earlier. So meditation. Honestly, if you can just sit with your thoughts, sit. And I know some people it's so hard to meditate because you have so many thoughts. I promise you, if you sit there long enough, all those thoughts will vanish. But if you want to play a game with yourself, you sit there and you visualize the life you want, or you visualize yourself in a calm place. Like you sit there and you just sit in it. And honestly, you do that enough, surprising or not, believe me, your reality will end up being what you visualize. But that's something for a completely different video. But that's something that you need to do. Meditate, sit, and quiet, and visualize the life you want. Talk to God. Talk to past or loved ones. Whatever works for you, do it. It'll help bring you down, bring you some type of calm, a little bit of peace, a little bit of understanding for whatever you're dealing with. Okay? And last but not least, connect with loved ones. So I know some people may say, I don't have a large family. I don't. I'm an only child. Okay? But I am a mom. So I ended up with I have my children as my family, but I'm only child. So when you don't have a large family, and you don't, and then you don't have a lot of aunts and uncles or whatever, it feels like you're alone. And that's why sometimes family doesn't always have to be the people that you come from. You create your own family. So your family can end up being friends from school, friends from work. But and when I say friends from school and work, I don't mean as soon as you start work, you start a job, you meet these people, you give them all your business, and now they're your friends. No, that's not how friends work. Okay, those are just associates, and you just told your associates all your business. No, if you have a family member that you know you're really close to, or you feel like you could trust, reach out to them and talk to them and be honest. Look, hey, I've been feeling alone. I've been feeling lonely. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. Can we set a day to just hang out? Ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. Sometimes you'll be surprised. They may be feeling the same exact way. Connect with loved ones. And if you don't have um, family or close friends you think you can connect with, honestly, find a nursing home that may be looking for volunteers. Believe it or not, those nursing homes, they have tons of residents who do not have any family members coming to visit them. They would love to add you to their family. Okay? So find a nursing home to go to, visit, volunteer, um, uh, get a pet. Pets definitely can be great companions. I know sometimes you would like to have, communication with another human being, but honestly, pets are really good too when, if you don't have a loved one to connect with. Now, after the week we've all had, I felt like this is something we needed. We need something to do to get our minds back to where they need to be, to take away the anxiety, just so that you could just be a better you. Now, my last video, I said we were going to talk about accessories for winter, but honestly, looking good means nothing if you don't feel good. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Send this to another beautiful woman who may need to hear this. And if you don't have anyone to talk to and you want to chat, I promise I am here to listen to you. You can email me and I will get right back to you. Have a good evening.